Well, hola, boys and girls. Hola, niños y niñas. Yes, I am in the Spanish talking mood today. You know, when I talk to my parents, I have to talk to them in Spanish. Well, because that's just what we do at the house. They feel more comfortable with Spanish. Of course, when they go out, they have to speak English. But I was just talking to them and I was in that Spanish speaking mood. But for those of you that did not understand hola, niños y niñas, what I meant was hello, boys and girls. How are you? Are you having a nice day today? Un buen día? Nice day? Buen día? Oh, never mind, Mr. Brazon. This is not a Spanish class. This is science. So come on, move on. All right. No more Spanish. Well, maybe a little bit later. Un poquito. All right. Today we are going to stay. We're going to stay in that outer core because there were a few things that I really want you to understand. Okay. So the lesson today is going to be about two things about the outer core. Okay. One is that nickel and iron and how they are metal, okay? And the other one is the magnetic field. So let's take a look at the learning target. So our learning target today is I can explain why the iron and nickel in the outer core are liquid and how the outer core creates a magnetic field around the Earth, okay? So we're gonna concentrate on that liquid iron and nickel and the magnetic field, which are both related to the outer core, which is which layer? That's right, number 3, okay? The third layer going from the surface in, okay? We're not gonna review those other layers because we've already done that a couple of times. So today we need to move quickly into the outer core, all right? So guess what? I am going to ask you a question that you might say, is this related to the Earth's crust? Yes. I'm going to ask you a question. How are swords made? Or knives? How are they made? Any ideas? Why don't you discuss with your class right now how a sword is made? So discuss with your classmate for a little bit. How is a sword made? All right, well, I was not able to listen to you because I'm not there with you, but I'm sure you had some pretty good ideas. So you guys are, you watch a lot of videos and you read books and you watch movies and you just have a lot of knowledge. So I like you to, just in case that you don't know how swords are made, okay? I want you to watch a video and I want you to be thinking, how is this related to the outer core? Why is Mr. Brazon talking about swords and why are we watching a video about swords being made if our learning target has to do with the outer core? Let's watch this video. So let me show you the link. You're either going to click on it, so it's right here, making a sword video, or your teacher is going to click on it for you and you're going to watch that, okay? So take a moment to watch that video. I think it's like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And think about how is this video related to our learning target today, which is the outer core. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, well, maybe now they have some faster methods of making knives and swords, but it's still the same idea. What did they have to do to that metal, the iron, or whatever it is that they use, whatever metal they're using, what do they have to do to it first? They have to make it liquid. And to make it liquid, what do they do? Well, yes, they have to put it into a very, very extremely hot temperature. That's what they do. That's how they make it liquid. And then when it cools off, it becomes hardened again. So you remember that we found out that the outer core is made mostly of which two things? Do you remember? Which two things? That's right, iron and nickel. And they're both metals, right? And it is the only, well, and so far, it was the only layer that was completely liquid. Because the first one, which was the crust, was solid, rock and soil. Then it was the mantle. By the way, did we ever discuss what the mantle was made of? Well, we're gonna have a review lesson later on, so if we don't know, we'll find out. And then the outer core, which is liquid, completely liquid, and it's nickel and iron. So it went from solid to the mantle, sort of liquid, in between liquid and solid, and then complete liquid. And so we know now from that video, and that's the relationship, right? That to make a metal into a liquid, we have to apply super high temperature. So what do you think the temperature in the mantle, the temperature in the outer core is? That's right. Super duper hot. Not just sort of hot, very hot. Aren't we glad that we live on the surface, on the crust? Yes. So it is completely liquid. So, a lot of the iron and nickel that we use today comes from the outer core, but it's very hot, so how do we get it to the surface? Did you ever think about that? I mean, we can't go in there. We can even go through the mantle, because the mantle is already so hot that it's melting all those materials there. So how do we get it out? I want you to click on a video called Mining Video, okay? Mining Video. And either you or your teacher is going to click on it and watch this. As you watch the video, think about how is it that iron and nickel and other metals, how is it that it got to a place to where humans can actually mine it, can actually extract it? How did it get there? And I'll give you a hint. Think about the lesson that we did about the crust, okay? That was related to something called tectonic plates. Think about that. So watch the video and start thinking, how did the metals get to the surface if they're mostly found down there in the outer core? So we don't have to go to the outer core to get iron. We have iron closer to the surface. And this will be a long story, okay, about the history of the universe, right? And I am not qualified to do that. But iron is present everywhere, meteorites and plants and humans, right? Iron is present everywhere, and nickel also. And also when remember the tectonic plates, the boundaries? Many times when they collide, when they open up, some material from under, okay, from the mantle that has a lot of iron also goes out, and then it becomes solid. Okay, so that's, we got to remember that to get iron and nickel and stuff like that, we don't have to go all the way down. In fact, we cannot go all the way down, okay? We cannot go all the way down. But the outer core is mostly iron and nickel, and it is melted because it is super hot. Now, we also know that the Earth has a magnetic field, okay? And the one responsible, the layer most responsible for the Earth magnetic field is the outer core. So I want you to watch a video on that as well. So you're either going to click on this or your teacher is going to do it for you. So it's called Earth Magnetic Field Video, okay? And that's going to explain how it is. And even though we learned a little bit about it last lesson, but I want you to really be familiar with this. So the Earth magnetic field video. And as you watch it, make sure that you're always making the connection as to how the magnetic field and the outer core are related, okay? Aren't you happy that we have a magnetic field around the Earth? It sounds a little bit sci-fi, science fiction, like Star Wars, right? But it's a good thing that we have that. And how is the outer core responsible for that? So I want to pose that question to you. How is the outer core responsible for the magnetic field that our planet has? Okay, so go ahead and explain that in your notebooks. How is the outer core responsible for the magnetic field? So just in case that you didn't catch it from the video, let's read over here to see how that liquid iron and nickel is related to the Earth's magnetic field. So in case you didn't get it from the video, let's read over here. This is a really good explanation. So it says, as Earth spins on its axis, the iron inside the liquid outer core moves around, right? So if you have water in a bottle and you move the bottle, what happens to the water? It also moves. So the Earth is spinning, there is liquid iron inside, so the iron is going to move. The movement causes powerful electric currents to develop in the liquid iron. These powerful currents cause lines of invisible force to stretch around the Earth and thousands of miles into space, creating a magnetic field. The magnetic field protects the Earth from harmful particles that come from the sun. So this outer core is also pretty important, huh? It's deep in there, but it's very important for us. That magnetic field protects us from many, many dangers that we could have if we did not have it. So I think we have explored everything that we wanted to explore in this lesson, which is, the temperature, why the metal was liquid, what is the magnetic field, how is it made, okay? So let's look at the learning target. I can explain why the iron and nickel in the outer core are liquid and how the outer core creates a magnetic field around the Earth. So yes, that's exactly what we accomplished on this lesson. And if you did not take enough notes, or if you didn't have time to watch the videos, you can always go back and do that at a different time and get all the information that you need. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. Remember to look for science. It is everywhere. Bye-bye. See you later. Have an awesome day.